Under a blinding Mediterranean sun, where the sea glows like polished glass, lies a jagged land of mountains and scattered islands, Greece. It was never meant to rule the world. It had no empire, no endless rivers, no fertile plains, and yet it gave birth to civilization as we know it. Here, between stone and sea, humanity learned to think, to question, to create. They invented philosophy, democracy, mathematics, tragedy, and the very language of logic. They measured the heavens, sculpted the human form in marble, and whispered to the gods through poetry. But their greatest creation was not marble or myth. It was an idea that the mind of man could understand the universe. This was ancient Greece, small, divided, imperfect, yet eternal. Its story is not one of kings and conquest, but of thought and vision. How did a civilization so small leave a mark so vast? How did its light survive empires, wars, and time itself? This is the story of how Greece built an eternal legacy, a flame that still burns within us all. The first Greeks were wanderers. They came down from the northern mountains, settling in rocky valleys and on islands that seemed carved by the gods. Their land was hard, unyielding, mountains cutting villages apart, soil too thin for comfort, summers too dry to forgive. And yet, this harshness bred strength. Each valley became a polis, a city-state. Athens, Sparta, Corinth, Thebes, independent, proud, and fiercely competitive. They shared a language, a religion, and a sense of destiny, but rarely peace. The sea became their bridge and their battlefield. From the Aegean to the coast of Asia Minor, the Greeks sailed and traded, carrying ideas like precious cargo. They learned from the Egyptians, the Phoenicians, the Babylonians, and then did something remarkable. They questioned everything they learned. Where others saw gods controlling fate, the Greeks saw patterns, reason, cause, and effect. They looked at storms and wondered about physics, at disease and imagined medicine, at stars and sought mathematics. It was here, among barren hills and salt air, that mankind first decided to understand instead of obey. In a small peninsula called Attica, one city would rise to become the heartbeat of this awakening, Athens. Built on trade, sustained by intellect, and ruled not by kings but by citizens, it became the symbol of freedom and creativity. In the agora, men debated beneath the open sky. In the theater of Dionysus, playwrights like Sophocles, Euripides, and Aeschylus turned human struggle into art. On the Acropolis, Pericles raised the Parthenon, its marble columns shimmering like frozen sunlight, a temple not only to Athena, goddess of wisdom, but to the very idea of perfection. Athens invented democratia, rule by the people, a fragile, revolutionary system in which words were sharper than swords. Here, citizens shaped destiny not through power, but through reason, and in the streets walked a man who questioned everything, Socrates. Barefoot, unyielding, he asked, "What is justice? What is virtue? Why are we here?" His method was simple: never stop asking. His death, by his own hand, condemned by the democracy he inspired, became the first martyrdom for truth itself. Athens proved that ideas could rule the world. If you believe that ideas outlive empires, like this video and subscribe. Our channel is just beginning, and your support helps us keep uncovering the mysteries that shaped civilization. Across the mountains of the Peloponnesus stood another kind of greatness, Sparta. If Athens celebrated the mind, Sparta worshipped the body. If Athens built with marble, Sparta built with muscle and order. Sparta was not ruled by philosophers but by warriors. Every male citizen trained from the age of 7 in the Agoge, a brutal education in endurance, obedience, and courage. They slept on reeds, ate little, and feared nothing. To outsiders, Sparta seemed ruthless, a place where freedom was replaced by duty. But in their discipline lay an ideal, that the individual existed to serve something greater, the city itself, and when the moment came, they became legends. At Thermopylae, King Leonidas and 300 Spartans held back an army of hundreds of thousands. They died to buy time for Greece, and in death they became immortal. If Athens gave the world democracy, Sparta gave it honor. Two opposites, intellect and discipline, both vital, both Greek. In the 5th century BCE, the Greek world faced extinction. From the east came the Persian Empire, vast and unstoppable, led by kings who demanded the world kneel. At Marathon, Athenian hoplites, farmers and craftsmen, met the Persian army in open field. Against all odds, they won. It was more than a battle, it was a declaration that free men could defeat an empire. But Persia returned with vengeance. Xerxes, with his colossal army and a bridge of boats across the Hellespont, advanced toward Greece. City after city fell. The Acropolis was burned. Then came Salamis, a naval miracle. Triremes clashed among the straits as Themistocles, the Athenian admiral, trapped the Persian fleet and destroyed it. The sea turned silver with splintered wood and victory. For the first time in history, liberty triumphed over tyranny. The Greeks, once divided, now saw themselves as one people, defenders of light against darkness. And from that victory, the idea of the West was born. After the Persian Wars came a century of brilliance. Under Pericles, Athens transformed from a city into a symbol of enlightenment. Its architecture mirrored its ideal, balance, proportion, harmony. The Parthenon, built to mathematical precision, became the heartbeat of beauty itself. Artists sculpted not gods as monsters, but as reflections of humanity. Graceful, flawed, divine, drama became psychology. Sophocles' Oedipus revealed the blindness of pride. Euripides' Medea exposed the darkness of passion. In the theater, Greeks confronted their own souls. Philosophy reached new heights. Socrates questioned. Plato imagined. Aristotle reasoned. They gave us ethics, logic, and metaphysics, the tools of thought we still use today. Science flourished. Hippocrates laid the foundation of medicine. Pythagoras found geometry in the stars. Democritus dreamed of atoms centuries before microscopes. Athens became more than a city. It became the mind of humanity. But brilliance breeds pride, and pride breeds downfall. The same Greeks who defeated Persia turned on each other. The Peloponnesian War, 431 to 404 BCE, Athens versus Sparta, would tear the world they built apart. Athens, rich from empire, grew arrogant. Sparta, austere and proud, refused to bow. Alliances shifted, cities burned, and famine stalked the land. For nearly 30 years, brother fought brother. When it was over, Athens lay in ruins. The Parthenon stood, but its light dimmed. Socrates was executed, accused of corrupting the youth. The age of idealism was over, and yet something new was stirring in the north. A young prince watched the chaos and took notes. His name was Alexander. Alexander of Macedon, tutored by Aristotle, carried both the sword of conquest and the torch of philosophy. At 20, he inherited his father's army. At 30, he ruled the known world. From Greece to Egypt, from Persia to India, Alexander spread Greek language, art, and ideas across continents. He built cities, each named Alexandria, and filled them with libraries, temples, and scholars. He saw himself as a new Achilles guided by destiny, but what few people know is that Alexander's true mission was not just conquest, it was connection. He wanted to unite East and West, to fuse Greek reason with Persian majesty, Egyptian mysticism, and Indian wisdom. In his short life, he created the Hellenistic world, a civilization without borders. And though he died young, his vision endured. Greek became the language of science, art, and empire. The torch passed from Athens to Alexandria, but the flame stayed Greek. If you love stories of visionaries who changed the world, subscribe now. Our journey through history's greatest minds has only just begun. When Rome conquered Greece, it thought it had won. But it was Greece that conquered Rome's soul. Roman generals studied Homer's Iliad, senators quoted Plato, emperors built temples in Greek style and filled them with marble gods, Greek tutors educated Roman children, Greek art decorated Roman villas, Greek logic shaped Roman law. Even as their cities crumbled, their ideas multiplied. And centuries later, when Europe lay in darkness, those same ideas, preserved in Arabic and Byzantine text, returned to spark the Renaissance. Leonardo, Copernicus, Galileo, Michelangelo, all of them were children of Greece reborn. Every democracy, every university, every theater carries the echo of that first awakening, because Greece did not simply exist in the past, it exists in everything we call civilization. The Greeks believed in arete, the pursuit of excellence, not perfection but striving. The idea that greatness is a journey, not a gift. It was this spirit, more than marble or empire, that made them immortal. To be Greek was not to be perfect. It was to question, to seek, to dare. They argued with their gods, defied their kings, and debated truth until it burned like sunlight. They left us reason, beauty, freedom, and above all, curiosity, that restless spark that drives humanity forward. Their legacy is not found in ruins. It's found in us. Every time we ask why, every time we choose knowledge over ignorance, we become Greek again. The miracle of Greece is not that it lived once. It's that it never stopped living. Today, the Parthenon stands shattered against the Attic sky. Its columns cracked, its roof gone, its glory faded. But listen closely, and you can still hear the whisper of an idea too powerful to die. The Greeks taught us that freedom begins in the mind, that truth is sacred, that beauty is not decoration, It is discipline. They were never united, never perfect, but in their imperfection they created something divine, a civilization built on the courage to think. From Socrates' questions to Plato's ideals, from Aristotle's logic to Alexander's dream, the Greek spirit built the blueprint for humanity itself. Empires rise and fall, languages fade, but ideas endure. The ruins of Greece are not a tomb, they are a mirror. And when we look into them, we see ourselves, still searching, still dreaming, still human. Because Greece did not just build history, Greece built the future.